What's going on, everybody, and welcome to a video where we're going to be going through some of our Google Takeout data. If you're not familiar with Google Takeout, it is a way you can go to Google, like your Google profile, and download all of the data that Google has on you, at least through Google services. So if you want to do that, it can take a while to actually get the archive, but if you log in, you can go, there's like a blue account top right, click on that. And then on the left-hand side, there's data and personalization. You can click on that. And then from there, scroll down just a little bit, and then you can download your data. And then you're going to pick the things that you want. Now, you might go through this list and you might think you know what those things mean, but you probably don't. So just get it all so you get a good idea of all the things that Google has on you, because you would actually be kind of surprised, or at least I was. Like, there were some things that I thought I understood, like I thought I knew like what kind of data Google had on me, but I didn't. And so it's just a good idea, just grab it all, just so you have a full idea of all the information that they have. So it's even like little stuff like they've got like purchase history, for example. Even though you might not shop on Google, but Google parses your emails, and from parsing your emails, they've got purchase history from like confirmation emails and hotel booking emails, all that kind of stuff. They're just extracting that by parsing your emails. So stuff like that, you might not realize they have. So anyway, definitely, I think just get it all. But mainly we're going to be focusing on the My Activity section, at least to start. But later on, if you guys want to suggest stuff that you want to see us go over, feel free. So we might do other stuff. So finally, you'll create your archive, and this will take, like, at least for me, it took a few hours, and you'll get like a confirmation email and stuff like that, like for security. I can't think of a much more scary email to receive than you've requested your Google Takeout data, and if you weren't expecting that email. So anyway, cool. So that's how you get the data, and then once you get it, you'll get like you'll extract it, and you'll have a Takeout directory, kind of like this. This is not the full one for me, but just some of the stuff I wanted to point out. So this is that purchases and reservations thing I was talking about. Location history, this is you tracked everywhere you go based on your phone, but not just everywhere you go. It's not just coordinates. It's, are you walking? Are you staying still? Are you in a car? I didn't think they were doing that, but they are. And based on that, you can then extrapolate information. So based on that, you know where the person, because like where are they sleeping at night, basically. That's probably their home. Where do they go every day, Monday through Friday, similar times. It's probably their work, or school or something like that. And then based on the coordinates, they can pretty easily find out like what's at those coordinates and stuff like that. So anyway, like I remember the first time, one of the times I moved, I went to the same store like twice in a row or something, and Google just assumed that's where I worked. It was really weird. But my phone was like, you need to go to work soon one day. And I was like, what are you talking about? I don't have a job. So anyway, yeah, so we're interested in My Activity. Inside of here, there's stuff like Android. Again, one of the things I didn't think they tracked was like every app you open. Like, they just track it. All right, cool. And as time goes on, like all this stuff, like on its own or alone, doesn't really sound that nefarious. But like then you start realizing like all this stuff adds together to basically be your whole life. And it's kind of creepy. So anyway, on that note, we're going to be going through our entire search history, and hopefully, first of all, just as a forewarning, you guys don't get to comment on my search history unless you post your search history. So no making fun of me. So anyway, this is what it looks like. It's an HTML file, which is kind of weird because other stuff, like for example, the location data, let's just pull up that. That's a straight up JSON file. So I'm not really sure why this one is an HTML file and like some stuff is JSON and stuff. I don't really know. But anyway, so we actually, in this case, we're going to have to parse this HTML file, which is kind of a pain in the butt, versus like the location history. Like getting through that is like a breeze. You just import JSON and you go. And in this case, you could use Beautiful Soup or something, but we're just going to do some stupid splits, I think. I think that's the way to go. So the first thing we're going to do is just something really, really basic. We're just going to run through all our search queries, split by word, and then just start looking at what are the most frequent words. And then what we can do is, you could do that overall, but this is like 5 years of search history. So then you could do like a daily moving 1 year window. So like every day along the way, what was the previous year's worth of search history? and what are the most common top 10 words, for example. And that should probably give us like a good overall like macro understanding of major interests of ours and major life changes and stuff like that. And then we could go smaller, like a month window or a week window, and figure out, you know, micro things that were going on just at that time. So anyways, pretty cool. So that's the plan. Later we could do way more advanced stuff, like do like word vectors and get general concepts that, you know, I'm interested in or you are or whatever. We can do lots of really cool stuff. One of the other things that I saw that I absolutely have to try is they also have all of your Google Assistant data. So the actual translation is mapped to the audio, which is basically a text-to-speech data set waiting to happen. So, and also a speech-to-text. So pretty cool. But mainly so you can create a text-to-speech bot that sounds like you. Also, take note, Google could do the same. Great. So anyway, let's jump in. So first of all, I'm just going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this G Data. I'm going to put Takeout into G Data. And then I am going to figure out why my mouse isn't showing up, hopefully. Ooh, I just can't see my mouse. Okay, cool. All right, and then what I'm going to do is File. I'm going to save. And I am going to put that in Desktop G Data. And then for now, I'm just going to call this, I don't know, search database.py. Search database. Cool. Awesome. So that's all we're going to do. We're just going to parse through this, save the times. We're going to convert those times to Unix time because the date stamp is going to be kind of a pain to work with. We're going to split by word and then save that into our database and scratch all of our itches. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, we're going to need import SQLite 3 for the database. We're going to well, actually, probably in this file, we don't need the collections. I was going to bring that in. Let's go ahead and we're going to use from TQDM, import TQDM, SQLite TQDM, and then we're going to do import dateutil.parser, and we're not going to need JSON. We're going to still scratch itches. I'm sorry, guys. I got like allergies or something. I don't know. We'll just get started. So first of all, let's get the search activity location. So I'll just do takeout my activity search. Take that, copy pasta / my activity.html. Don't know if these backslashes will actually create a problem in this case, but I'm going to just fix those manually real quick. Then what we're going to, after this, we're going to create our table. Or actually, first we need to make the database, which is actually super simple with SQLite. You just connect. And if it doesn't exist, boom, it's created. So let's do that. So we're going to say con equals SQLite3.connect. And we're going to save this as mylife.database. And then C equals con.cursor. Awesome. Define make table. Now what we're going to do is c.execute, and we're going to create table. If not exists, the table will be called words, and basically words is going to contain I think we'll have a primary key. Why not? ID integer, and that will be a primary key. ID. We're going to have Unix. That will be a real. We could also go with integer, but I'm going to say real. And then the actual word itself, which will be a text type. Awesome. Okay, so that's our table. Can I please? What's the mark here? Indentation can. I'm so glad that this thing is like that's violating PEP 8. No tabs allowed. Let's fix that really quick. Indent using spaces. Fix this stupid idiot. Awesome. Okay, so make table. So let's go ahead and we'll run make table. We don't actually need to run that now though. And now what we want to do is work on search data. So define search data. what we want to do here, the first thing is we're going to split by word, but we don't want all the words like a, the, and. These are words we don't care about. Those in the NLP community are called stop words. These are just words we just want to kind of toss them out. So the first thing I'm going to try is stop word list. And list NLTK's list of English stop words. Heck yeah. That is not the format I wanted. But, oh, here we go. Here's a list. Anyone want the above list as an array? Here you go. Yeah, thank you. Because the other guy obviously isn't a programmer. Union. This looks like a great list. I'm taking it. Boom. Copy. Nice big long list. So we're going to say stop words equals bang. This is not the greatest list of stop words. Thorough has meaning. Wonder also has meaning. Seriously has meaning. Again. I think I'll use this list, but it depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, some of these are actually meaningful words. I'm not sure you'd want to toss them out. In our case, I think it will be fine. But it's interesting. Some of these I'm just not sure I agree. But the show must go on. So now what we want to do is we want to open... oh, we've already closed it. But we want to open that HTML file. We want to split for searched for. I got to open it because I got to figure... Oh, wait. Is this it? Nice. We got to split for... Because we don't care about this. We care about searched for. So we want to split for that. And then we want to parse out each word in that link. So pretty easy task. So search data stop words. So now what we want to do is open that file. So what we're going to say is with open the search activity, with the intention to read as f, contents will be equal to f.read. Then we want to split those contents and iterate over those contents. So we're going to say is for item in contents dot split. And we want to split by searched for with a capital S. For item and contents. Okay, cool. Well, let's just print item. Print item, and then we'll break, because we're going to do some development here. We don't want to continue. Oh, well, we made the table, but we probably didn't do search data. We did not. Search data. Let's try one more time. Error. Car map, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. We'll open it with some encoding. Wish this was somehow easier to get back over here. And encoding equals, and we'll make that UTF-8els, and we'll see what happens. Beautiful. Not that beautiful, but it's what we wanted. So when we split by search for, actually the 0th element we don't actually care for. So let's do 1 colon. Try one more time. Beautiful. Exactly what we were hoping for. So now we're going to do some pretty ugly splitting here. So I'm going to say search underscore string equals item dot split by that, escape that there, and then it'll be the firsteth dot split by the closing link tag here, split by, boom. In that case, we want the 0th. So now let me print search string. Beautiful, just beautiful. Now we want to parse out the date. Where is date? Here. So it should be the first break. Someone's going to be like, this is so ugly in the comments. Whatever, bro. Date equals item dot split break. You did this so stupid. Look, you could have done it this way. Okay. Split div and then 0th. Here's a regex string. This would work so much better. Okay, I'm done. Print and then date, and then let's just stop printing item. Let's just see how that looks. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we want to convert that date to a Unix time so we can use it as the programmers we are. So date util.parser.parse the date.timestamp. That's not going to do anything for us. D equals date. Rather than date, we'll just print D. Print the D. Looks good. TZ name. EDT, identified, but not understood. Pass TZ infos argument. What if I don't want it? Like, I don't really care about EDT. What's TZ infos? Can I just, TZ infos, date util? I don't know what the heck that's about. TZ infos. TZ infos. Additional time zone names. Okay. Because EDT, I don't even know. Is that the same? That's probably the same as EST, like Eastern. I don't know what the D stands for. Eastern date time? I don't know. So this is probably the delta from, what do you call it? UCT? I don't know. I'm just not worried about it right now. This is working, so I'm just going to skip it. Like a real programmer. Yeah, the other thing, you could just parse up to like the last 4. Or you could pass TZ infos. Or replace, like what if I did this? Dot replace EDT with EST. What happens then? Okay, you don't even understand EST. Okay, well, then I don't care to cater to you, bro. Okay, so we've got the search string. We've got the time. Now we can insert the words into a database. So now what we're going to say is for w in search string dot, and we're going to split by a space. Cool. If w not in stop words. What do we want to do? We want to c.execute insert into words. Oh man, I'm gonna flop here. I think it's like this. Words. I'm gonna try this. Unix word. Fudge. I can't remember if it's like this, and then it's like 2. I'm gonna check. Don't worry. that, and then I want to say it'll be a comma tuple, and then w. No. Unix is first. Whoops. Oh gosh, this is going south fast. So dw, and now I'm beginning to wonder. Maybe you don't have a comma there. That's looking good. What do you guys think? Think I made it? Let's see. Let me check. Python programming.net. This is the best programming resource. If you've never heard of it, it's phenomenal. Dynamically inserting into a database. Dang, who is that guy? He's good looking. Did I get? I didn't do values. Dang it. I was close. I deserve partial credit. Values. So like that. And then question mark, comma, tuple. Is that about right? Close, comma, tuple. Yep. I was so close, everybody. Okay. Cool. Break. I think that's it, y'all. So let me get rid of that break. And before we forget, you need 2 things. We need a con.commit and we need a con.close at the very end. Now, this is not too much data. Like our full data set is 80 megabytes, so there's no way this is going to be bigger than 80. It's probably going to be like less than 10. So committing at the very end is totally fine. Many times you might not want to commit once at the very end. Like you probably want to commit in batches, but in this case, the entirety is smaller than a batch that I would commit as. So we'll just commit at the very end. No big deal. we are going to comment that out, and we are going to TQDM this operation here so we see where we are percentage-wise along the way. And finally, we are going to try and accept because we are probably going to hit an error somewhere, and I don't want this whole thing to flop because of one stupid error. So we're going to say try. Because like some of this stuff you've got like visited and then searched for, so that's kind of awkward, and that's probably going to cause an error, and there's probably other things too. So we're going to try accept exception as e print what? What? No. What's going on? What is going on? What? Oh, now you want to fix. Okay, whatever. Print string E. Look at this thing is just throwing a fit. What is your problem? Linter. Are we good? I think we're good. Okay, so let's run this. Gdata. CMD. Looks like we actually, probably because we already ran it. So let me just delete that, and let's just, it shouldn't be a problem, but I forget why we had to rerun. Anyway, Python search database.py. We can do it. Here we go. We got a progress bar. It's looking great. And we're going quick. Just for the record, if you want to look at your database like I'm going to when this is done, I can't really see anything yet because we haven't committed anything, but I'm using like, it's like SQLite database viewer or something. Open with DB browser for SQLite, just for the record. We're going to wait for this. Oh, it's done. 3.4 megabytes. That's really small. Okay, browse data. This could be risky, everybody. I'm about to show the world. I could always blur it in editing, I guess. But then I'd have to edit. Ugh. Okay, so, cool. Looks like it works. We got the unique ID, a Unix timestamp, and then the actual words. I'm not going to scroll too far because that could be dangerous. All right. So we are ready for the next tutorial, which is where we will begin to build the images that will represent the frames in our video of our search histories over time. That's going to be pretty cool. Shout out to my most recent channel members, Rodrigo, Claw N, YU, Ian Christensen, and Kunal. Thank you guys very much. Without support from people like you, I wouldn't be able to play with Google data like this. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So thank you guys very much for your support, and I will see the rest of you guys, I love you guys too, in another video.